Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where I just got these set up off camera here because it takes a really long time to load. I got these set up for colonization, so those are ready to go, and we've got this agro world here that needs a job. Literally the only thing we can do is upgrade a civilian replica complex, which, sure, I guess we'll do that. Any other jobs that we need, we should really probably be ticking forward. Let's bring that on up to fastest speed. Phenomenal. And let's see if there are any other jobs to be worked on here. We've got a foundry station here. We could certainly repair this alloy nano plant. I guess that would work. And this hyper entertainment forum. Sure, why not? So what else do we have here? A whole lot of nothing. Okay, cool. So of course, at this point, we did get all of these set up, I believe, that we could with the ion cannons. So there's not much to do there. We're working forward on our alloy storage. We could certainly start working on non-ion cannon defense platforms. That is an option. We can upgrade Ethos Prime, and I think this actually just finished. We can get a couple of habitation modules going there, and if it just finished, which I strongly suspect it did, we should hop over to our construction ships. Where are we? Not here, of course. Construction ships should be here. Okay, so that was over Ethos. What is the next one that we're going for? Gossamer, we're already there. So next we've got Maskell. Okay, sounds good. So up we go, and we're of course going to be building ourselves an orbital ring here. We've got one around Maskell Secundus, but we don't have one around Maskell Prime. Interesting. We'll build an orbital ring up over here. That'll be absolutely fine. How are we doing on this construction? Oh, we're 96% done in Gossamer. Okay, we should probably head over to Ilix next. So that's going to be off over this direction. Sure, that'll take a little bit to get to, but I'm not too concerned about that. We'll just hop over to Ilix Secundus first, and we'll build an orbital ring there. Followed by building an orbital ring around... Can we not do this? Oh, we're lacking the influence. Okay, that's fine. We'll just let that go then. No worries whatsoever. We'll just get that pre-queued. So no issues at all. We are, of course, working... Well, I say no issues. There are a couple of issues. Specifically, our naval cap. Our naval cap is an issue that we are actively working on. We are, of course, upgrading a lot of stations over this way right now. Complete. And the Light Sun Starbase just finished its upgrade. We'll get another Starhold upgrade queued up here. That'll be 411 days. Wonderful. I don't recall this having a job issue previously. This is set up as a foundry, and let's put in a foundry arcology.
Upscaling complete.
What is the jobs on an arcology? 10 housing and 6 metallurgist jobs. Interesting. These are housing positive. So the question has to be asked, what's the point of residential arcologies? Well, the answer there is, of course, additional housing for your buildings. Which, now that I think about it, this synthetic crystal plant should be replaced with an ancient refinery, and this synthetic crystal plant, not an admin office, get out of here. This synthetic crystal plant should be replaced with a research institute. Cancel this. There we go.
Research Institute.
Beautiful. So we'll get that going. Shield hit points is absolutely fine. What is cheapest here? Energy credits from jobs? I guess we'll go for that. Cool. So that'll be fine for the time being. Of course, we're going to have to keep an eye on our star bases out here, but it looks like there's a reasonable amount of time before those are ready to go. We may have a few out this direction that require upgrades, and indeed we do. We'll get those going immediately. Phenomenal. So we know we're at 65 out of 65 star bases at this point. All of these star bases are being targeted to be anchorages to help out with our naval cap issue. We're certainly going to need to deal with naval cap. Habitation rings are good. We could certainly make the argument that these could also be anchorages. I don't think it's a good argument, but the argument could be made. On the next month tick, we can get this upgrading to Orbital Ring Tier 2, which is definitely something that we want to do. What just finished here? The Theravia Starbase? Okay, this is fine. So, presumably, this just finished upgrading to Citadel. So we want to put in something like a disruption field generator here, and that also should mean that we need a pair of ion cannons here, and that is indeed accurate. So we'll get that going, and on this month's tick, we will get the Gossamer Prime Station upgraded, which is basically right now. This is not the button I'm looking for. I'm looking for this button. Phenomenal. And how are we doing out over here? 18% and 0%. Great. I'm actually glad that these are a ways away from finishing. We're gonna need the influence. There's no doubt about that. So that's all looking relatively good there. We know we have a bunch of these stations upgrading. And they're about 70 days away from finishing most of these. Yeah, that's fine. Not too concerning. We're at 108k. Once we start hitting our cap here, we're definitely going to want to start queuing up additional defensive platforms. That's going to be the idea. I want to check in on what our bastions are looking like right now in terms of strength. So we've got like the Pulpon Kier station. This is 180k. That won't stop anything, but it's definitely going to make them think about it a little bit. That's about the strength of one of our fleets. So that's pretty good, really, all things considered. Now we know we already have 2 ion cannons here. And that's absolutely fine. We should probably consider queuing up a bunch of these. The main drawback here absolutely comes down to the fact that dark matter is going to be the problem. But we can queue up a bunch of these bulky class defense platforms. We're going to need like 70 of them. That's certainly a lot. So that's all of them. Fantastic. It's actually 60 of them. Apparently I can't math. Well, that's fine. It's not a big deal. So we'll get more of these defense platforms going. These take 60 days each to build, and that's going to take a while. The main problem here, again, is dark matter. So after we finish this, I want to check to see how we're doing on dark matter. There we go. Got them all queued up. How are we doing on dark matter here? 3.5k? Sure. So we're at 41k right now, so we can assume that this is like 30k per station.
Complete.
That's about the same as a fleet. And it's not great, but
Upscaling
it's certainly something to think about. We have lots of alloys flowing in.
Complete.
And we're just going to continue working through all of these upgrades for the time being. Beautiful. So that looks phenomenal for right now. What is our research at this moment in society? 20 naval cap. Okay. And we'll get a little bit more than that maybe, but honestly, our percent boosts are kind of offset by our percent negatives. And also the fact that we transfer 20% of our naval cap to the Federation. That's a little painful for us at this moment, but it's fine. I'm not too concerned about it. So next up would be the Halvam station, right? And we would just build in additional defense platforms here. And if we get declared on, we can always cancel these queues and get the alloys back. But for now, I think it's okay. We're definitely not going to have enough here to get another one going. Okay, that's the maximum here. Order restored on Dominion. Okay, cool. So this is a lot, right? That's a lot of defense platforms. That is literally 100 defense platforms. So we know that this is going to be 400 dark matter. And we also know that this is going to be 45,100 alloys. Actually, it's going to be a little more than that because it's a 496. So it's going to be 49,600 alloys. Okay. That's fine. We just finished a construction somewhere. What was that? Oh, this starbase. Okay, sure. That's actually an orbital ring upgrade. I would like to upgrade that further, but we need a planetary capital, so that is okay. No problems whatsoever there at this juncture. And of course, the next question is, when are we going to be able to build ion cannons down on these habitation rings? That's going to be quite a question. I don't know the answer to that one just yet. We'll get a couple of habitation modules queued up for our orbital ring here. We might as well spend the influence. That is absolutely fine right now. And we are making a decent chunk of Unity. Now, we need to get ourselves a good amount of minor artifacts. We're at 1.1k right now, and we have a number of these. We have 2 mega art installations here that we need to upgrade. Plus, there's all of these ruined orbital rings, which we can actually start upgrading once our influence rolls in. So that's certainly something that we can work on. We need to get these mega art installations done eventually. That's going to be 4,000 total on the artifacts. That's a lot of artifacts. No doubt about that. Now, I think that the Galactic Information Entente is not going to be declaring on us again. I'm reasonably certain of this. The real question is our Federation interested on declaring on them or the Icazurian Multistellar? And I would argue for the Icazurian Multistellar here. If we were in control of what the Federation does, that's what we would do. Unfortunately, we're not in control of the Federation. The Absorbers are currently in control. We are definitely outpacing them economically and in fleet. We're a little behind them in tech. And diplomatic weight as well. I'm actually surprised we're outpacing them that much by the fleet value. Okay, we'll happily take that. We are by far the strongest in the Empire. And our economy is more than double, or not quite more, almost double theirs. So that's wonderful. We're really, really happy to see that, and we're going to continue to work on that, of course. Wait, did I just see one of these was at 220 as we were scrolling through? I thought I saw that, but maybe I was lied to by my eyeballs. Refined Swarm. Why are you at 220 out of 230? Apparently we didn't upgrade this one. So this was adding in a battleship and 2 corvettes. Reinforce it. There we go. So we did miss one. Okay. Good to know. Well, that is now solved. No problem whatsoever there. This anchorage is going to need this button pressed. Okay. Hopefully we're done with those quite soon. And any others of these that we're looking through here that need work? Not currently, so I guess we may as well do a quick jobs check here. What do we got? We got a foundry station here, and this is as good as it's going to get for right now, unless we were to, like, upgrade the habitat, but that's 50 influence that we kind of don't want to spend right now. I mean, it would be nice, don't get me wrong. But as of right now, I think we're far better off to resettle this. So we're going to resettle this guy over to... I mean, there's only one available job here. I would really, if I can grab this... There we go. I'd really prefer to send them to, like, this. Now, there's the core of that mega shipyard that was put into place. Okay. So we'll get that solved. No problem there. And let's continue scrolling through our jobs here. There shouldn't be too much else, to be honest. That should be about it for right now.
Ships upscaled.
We've got something on Everim. Okay. We would need to just resettle here as well. So that's reasonably fine. We can move you over to, say, the Preserve, and you can have fun with
complete.
that. The Yazdan Union insulted us, hilariously. And let's take a quick look down here. We finished the core of this mega shipyard, but we can continue to upgrade that, and we will definitely do that. We also finished up work on the Light's End Starbase. We'll continue to upgrade that guy. Phenomenal. Now, we could expand our ships, or rather our fleets, further than this by making additional fleets. The question is, do we think that the naval issue is going to go away anytime soon? I don't know about that one. I mean, in terms of our edicts, we don't really have any other ways to increase our naval capacity, right? In terms of edicts. So it's pretty much just the Grand Fleet. Desperate measures is always funny in a defensive war. We'll see if we end up in a defensive war or not. I'm not sure if we will. But for now, this seems reasonably fine. I would think about getting some of these upgrading. We did just max our consumer goods. I just bought consumer goods. That was not what we were looking to do. We're going to sell these consumer goods. We're now full on energy credits, which of course means we're going to stock up on dark matter. Okay. There we go. Now, what just finished up here? This starbase. Beautiful. We'll get both of those going, and we just finished an orbital ring in the Ilix system. Okay, so we know that we need a second orbital ring over here, so we are going to build a megastructure here and build an orbital ring there. While we're at it, of course, Ilix Secundus in its orbital ring can, of course, start upgrading, although requires a planetary capital. Okay, so we can't do that yet. So we would put in our habitation modules here. That'll be fine for now. That does spend down all of our current influence, which isn't shocking. And actually, we're done in Maskell as well. Okay, we should check to see. So we've got Ilix, and then we've got Wua. Okay, so we would head down over here. And we would need to build an orbital ring around Wua Prime. Now, we don't currently have the influence for that. That costs 50 influence. We've got 0. Although technically, I think we have a fractional amount since it's saying that we're lacking 49. But that's fine. Hopefully, we'll have it by the time we get there. Apparently, we're looking at this patch of space that's nowhere near the galaxy. Phenomenal. Of course, the next project here is going to be getting all of these upgraded, right? They're upgrading to Star Fortress right now. Technically, we don't need to take them up to Citadel, but I think we're probably going to anyway. We could certainly dump some alloys here. So I think that what we're going to do is we're just going to start with Entropy's Promise. So 81 total defense platforms here. That is definitely cheaper. We'll get those queued on up. I mean, this is going to be a lot of them. I wish we could shift-click to Q10. That would be awfully nice. Unfortunately, that doesn't exist in Stellaris. So the next one would be the Wigola station. And we'll get those queued on up. I don't know if we have enough alloys to get these all queued. I suspect we do, but I don't know that for an absolute fact. Actually, it looks like we're going to run out. Yep, we did indeed run out. We're lacking 84 alloys. The price of alloys is really low. I'm going to buy a few here. We don't need all that many. And let's see about... Okay, that was our max capacity at exactly the right time. Perfect. So there's those two ready to go. And we're just going to slowly work our way through these star bases. There's a lot of them. And we can also get some upgrades going here. We're lacking influence. And this is the Ethos Prime Station. What do we have here even? This is a Forge World? Allegedly, anyway. So we could certainly think about building an alloy processing facility here and upgrading this, but we're going to be lacking the influence for it. That is absolutely a fact. Influence is going to be a bit short for us here, it seems. Which really means that we can't afford to maintain this construction ship for now. I'm going to get rid of it, and we're going to be sitting in Ilix, and then that's going to head down to Wua once it's done in Ilix. Okay, because we need to definitely be spending influence on getting these upgrades going. That is going to be important, and that, of course, means we just don't have the influence to be building 2 of these at a time. Not right now, anyway. But we have a long ways to go on getting all of these done, no doubt about that. I would absolutely love to get our habitation modules going here, but those are relatively expensive. We just need the single habitation module here, is all we need. But that's still pretty expensive for us right now. We can't do that at this moment, so we'll come back to that one. Let's check in on our upgrade status over here, 169 days. Okay, upgrade status over here. 451 days. Yeah, that's going to be a while yet. Cool. So there's not a lot going on at this moment. There's no doubt about that. Everybody's fully rebuilt. The Brack Blessed Mandate has slightly better fleets than we do. Slightly. But they'd still be hard-pressed to beat us, especially in a defensive war. And if we were fighting in our home territory for that 40% fire rate, we turn on all of our edicts, we're probably pretty close to even with them. Life finds a way indeed. So that is a thing that happened. Wonderful. The Kappa Defenders Enclave has paid dividends. Always
Research
good.
Actualized.
And that is our kinetic weapon fire rate finishing. So what do we want to go for next? Probably defense platform damage, honestly. We're building defense platforms now. We're 1 month away from getting our naval cap upgrading. Let's see if this actually goes up by 20. We're at 4613 for now. We'd be expecting it to go to 4633, but I'm not sure if we should be positive here. It should be slightly higher than that, but I'm not sure exactly how much it's going to be. I guess we'll find out. So we'll just wait for this month tick, and let's see if this goes up, or rather what amount this goes up by. It should go up by some amount. It's definitely not going to go down, that's for sure. What do we got?
Research actualized.
35. Okay, cool. So that went up by 22. So that's a 10% boost. Sounds excellent. Next, I suppose we should go for, like, Strikecraft. We're not really using Strikecraft very heavily, but they are currently the cheapest. So we'll do that for right now. I was hoping that we were going to see more fleet cap. That would be absolutely wonderful to bring this up to, like, 250. Unfortunately, we are not there right now. And that is certainly sad. So I would like to bring these up to like 32, 32, 32, and then like 16.8. I don't know what that command limit would end up looking like, but that would be an interesting way to arrange our fleets, I feel like. That will, of course, require additional fleet cap. So we could figure out how much that would require, but that sounds like work. So I'm not going to do that right now. Over here on Ethos Prime, we can get our habitation module now that we got some influence going. For Gossamer Prime, we're building habitation modules here, and we could get an additional one. What do we have on this planet? This is a Forge World. Okay, so we would definitely look to put in an alloy processing facility.
Upscaling complete.
There we go. We just finished the Maradetta Prime Station over here. That upgraded to Tier 2. We're lacking the influence to upgrade that to Tier 3. Sad. But once we have the influence, we can definitely do that. We've also got the Maskell Prime Station here. That's going to need a couple of habitation modules. I really do want to be buffing up our planets with those. The idea behind the orbital rings is not to be defensive structures. That's a secondary thing for them. Absolutely, that is. Honestly, that might even be a tertiary thing for them. The primary would be boosting the planet. The secondary would be something else entirely that I have no idea what it would be. And the tertiary thing would be defense. It's a pretty distant thing, right? But it does exist. It is a thing that exists for sure. So we're about to finish up these upgrades over here. That's wonderful. We're lacking 31 influence for the Maradetta Prime Station. Yeah, I'm actually quite glad for now that we've gone down to one construction ship building those. It's going to be complete. A little bit painful for a little bit here. No doubt about that. Complete. We're going to get these upgrading to Citadels.
Upscaling complete.
As I said previously, I don't believe that it's strictly speaking necessary, but this does allow us to unify our defensive plan for all of these, so we can get those going. And that'll be absolutely fine. Once we are out over here, we've got these 3 additional stations. Those are a little further out from being ready to go. Okay, that's fine. So I'd love to get this orbital ring upgrading. Unfortunately, we're 3 months out on that. The Ethos Prime Station is also able to be upgraded to Tier 3. So that needs influence too. And we're currently almost done with our orbital ring in Ilix. So that's an additional, like, 36 influence there, plus however many upgrades that ends up needing, plus enough to build in Wua. Yeah, we're in a pretty big influence crunch right now. No doubt about that. We do have a migration pact, apparently. Oh, I accidentally clicked on this. I don't want to look at claims. Get out of here, claims. Okay. We do have a migration pact with somebody. Who is that? Okay. We're going to break our migration treaty with the Absorbers. They're sad about that, but it's no hard feelings, Absorbers. We simply need the influence. So as soon as this updates, we'll be getting an additional quarter point per month. So 9.5 instead of 9.25. It's not huge, but it's something. And they want to get it back. I'm sorry. We need all the influence we can get right now. As soon as we can, I would love to re-up that. But for right now, it's not an option. It simply isn't. The next thing that we should be doing is we should be queuing up the construction in the Wua system of our orbital ring here. That'll be on the next month tick. We're lacking 1 influence for that right now. And unfortunately, we're only halfway through this month, so that might be a little bit. For now, it's fine. We've got a lot of stuff that we need to work on over here. We could certainly think about putting in more bulky class defense platforms on the disinteger station, and I think we definitely do it. We're just going to slowly work through this. This is where we're putting our excess alloys right now. And this is going to make it very painful for us to be attacked, if we manage to get this project finished. This is an extensive project, right? Just checking on our dark matter numbers there. And it's going to be extreme how much this is going to cost to get all of this built. I have no illusions about that. That is absolutely going to be the case. We're going to queue up a few more bulky class defense platforms over the corrosion station. Okay, that's all of those good to go. Magnificent. And we, of course, want to come over here and actually queue up our orbital ring over Wuwa Prime. And there we go. Fantastic. It is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, well, we're going to see just how much influence we need to get all this going. It's a lot, I can tell you that. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.